it's always a challenge going to a new team, new organization, right? Like you get used to things done a certain way, like I did last year with the inside the car, and trying to adapt to them, figuring out what worked and what I'm used to. It just always takes a little bit of time to get that stuff figured out.
I was talking with Rodney over the offseason, and he was talking about the fall race here. You guys were arguably one of the top two cars here. What can you take away from your experience then? Obviously, it's with a totally different group of people and different circumstances altogether, but what can you take from that experience into driving the 21?
Yeah, I think that was, over I look over the course of last year, that was definitely probably one of our strongest races. Obviously, Super Speedway racing is its own animal, but I think looking back on that, we watched, even on the 21 car, we watched a lot of that race from my perspective to see how that unfolded. And, really I was just able to take away a lot of confidence from it, right? I think just learning this car and how to race and the things we did well on that. And obviously, we raced up front all night, had a shot at the end, but it's something we still look back on that really strongly.
Josh, you've been able to spend any time at the original Wood Brothers shop? You've been to Stewart?
Yeah, we went there. It's probably been a month now ago, and spent about half a day. It was really awesome. Just a ton of stuff there. So much history. It was really cool.
Leonard showed you some of his projects back there, the engine, and I get to spend a lot of time up there. Go to the park workshop that's just up the street for special needs folks. It's just like 400 yards up the same road. I was ragging on him about his little carburetor, and he said it'll run a real engine. I go like, yeah. So they opened up the doors and put this thing on a real motor, and the carburetors. I don't even know how they do that stuff.
Yeah, we saw that stuff, and he gave us the same demonstration with opening up the doors and firing up the engine, and it was funny. I mean, like I said, it's just it's so cool. Like I said, it just keeps him busy. I know he has a ball working on all that stuff, and for me, just seeing all the historic cars, but the uniforms, the trophies, the photos. I mean, how meticulously it was organized. It's a must see, I think, for any NASCAR fan.
Oh, that wall with all the people that have won for them over the years. How bad do you want to get your picture on that wall?
Yeah, they pointed it out. They got a spot there for me, so that's most definitely the goal.
Josh, what was it like seeing Junior Motorsports Cup hauler coming in here yesterday?
Yeah,
or earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, I think it's really cool. Obviously, seeing the appreciation and kind of humility, I guess, Dale and Kelly LW, everybody has for this opportunity, right? You can see how much it truly means to him to be here, and that really, I think that really shows, how important and how amazing it is to be an owner or a driver and be competing in the Cup Series, right? So it's just, I know that we kind of, I still have several friends at Junior Motorsports, and they kind of said, yeah, Dale's going to be there at 6 a.m. when the hauler unloaded, and we kind of laughed, but he did it. I saw it. So, no, it's really cool. I know they're excited, and hopefully they have a good weekend.
You weren't tempted to join him at 6 a.m.?
No. Having a 5-year-old and a little baby, we take the sleep while we can get it.
I'm curious. Last year was your first year in the Daytona 500. What did that experience mean to you, and what, I guess on a more generic note, what does the Daytona 500 mean to you personally?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, it's such an iconic race, right? And to be here, you really, truly don't understand and appreciate it until you get to the race day and all the pre-race festivities and everything that goes along with it really shows how big of an event this is, right? So it's one we all look forward to. We all want to win. We all want to kick off our season on a strong note. We want to have a solid finish, but it's still really always cool to come here and race.
Along those same lines, the Daytona 500's meant a lot to your team over the years. Have you talked to the Woods at all? Have they told you, like what this race means to them or anything?
I think it goes without being said, really, right? Like they've obviously had a lot of success here and going back over the course of decades, right? So it's obviously one of their favorites to be here and have another crack at it. Year 75, I know they're excited. I feel like we had a lot of fun at Bowman Gray getting things started. I know they're excited, and we're ready to get here racing.
Josh, how important is it to be in a new situation, although you've worked with Rodney, but everything else is kind of brand new, to get off to a solid start? The first 3 or 4 or 5 races, maybe not set the world on fire, but just give yourself something solid to build on.
Yeah, I think it's really important, honestly. Especially with the start to the year, having Daytona, Atlanta, and then even Coda, which has been a challenge for me. I think if we can have some solid runs here, these first few weeks, I think it'll definitely help build a lot of momentum for us going forward. Right, like we feel like we're going to have great opportunities at the short track. Some of the intermediates that I ran really well at last year, I think we're going to have circled as really good opportunities for us. But these races can go one way or the other, and obviously we want to score as many points and have as good a finish as we can.
What are your goals or expectations for the season?
Yeah, I think it's always hard to set expectations, right? I think especially when you're going into a new situation, right? Like really, you kind of got to have to judge how the beginning part of the season is and adjust your goals accordingly, right? Like if we come out running really well, I think making the playoffs, winning a race is most definitely possible. And we're just going to have to see how that unfolds, right? Like even once we get to some of the intermediates here later in the season and see how we stack up, then we'll have a better idea.
How reliant do you feel like that success is on the alliance you guys have with Penske?
Yeah, I think we most definitely have an alliance with them. So, we obviously work close with those guys and how they run. And even for me now, having, teammates that are champions, right, is going to help accelerate my learning curve and limit some distractions, around the shop, right, where I'm going to be able to, lean on those guys, as much as I need to learn. And I think that's, all those, is just putting me in a really good situation.
What do you feel like is the biggest lesson you learned as a rookie in the Cup Series last year?
I don't know. That's hard to say. Last year was so emotional, right? Really from the start. I think before we even made it here, we heard all the background noise about what was going on and, whether, a charter was getting sold, multiples. So I don't know that I don't know. It's hard to really take in. On the racetrack, I think I knew it was going to be hard, right? I raced for HMS the year before. I knew how tough those races were, but I did have good results in most of them, so that made me optimistic. But I think last year was just harder. I think a lot harder off the racetrack than I expected, and all of us expected that, right? 200-300 people are now we're spent time looking for work, so. I think I'm looking at this as a fresh start in a really established group, with a lot of great people around me, and I think it's important for me to personally use that as a fresh start and kind of go into this with an open mind, just no different than I did when I was subbing for Chase and Alex.
You're the last rookie class with the yellow stripe. You sad to see that go? You wish these rookies had to wear that as well, or what do you think about the yellow stripe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other, but sometimes I just wonder why we change stuff just to change it. To me, that's what that was. But, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess.
I feel like this team for you, it's so fitting. You've throughout your career raced at so many historic racetracks, and now you're with one of the probably, if not the most storied team in NASCAR. How cool has that been? You were talking with him about the history of the shop and everything like that going into this year. How cool is that for you to be racing for a race team like this?
Yeah, it most definitely. They're amazing people, and it's a family-run race team, right? It's a family business. It's what they do. They're racers. They've been racing for 75 years now, right? So it really means a lot to be driving for the Wood brothers, and the relationship with Ford has been so strong, and for me to continue that, it's been a lot of fun. But we're not just trying to be a part of the show, right? We want to run better. We want to get in contention, have solid results, and really for me, I feel like I have everything around me that can make that happen. So it's just really going to come down to just going out and doing it.
The Vivid EV Anthem is the essence of American spirit. Made with lithium battery technology, this neighborhood electric vehicle features vibrant colors, diamond stitch seats, and seats up to 6. It isn't just made in America, it's made for America.
Trenton Warsham with Frontstretch.com. Come back for more great racing videos. And if you like us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.